When Bill Clinton took office, 42% of African Americans owned their own homes. By the time he left the White House, record 48% did. It's a quantum leap historically, and nearly 3 times the pace for white home ownership, according to this new book by Paul Sperry, The Great American Bank Robbery. The overall minority home ownership rate increased more in the 1990s than in any decade in the last century except the 1940s, when minorities joined the post-war housing boom. So the media attributed the growth to the first real enforcement of the Community Reinvestment Act. Astonishingly, half the growth in U.S. home ownership from 1995 to 2005 came from minorities. So first-time home buyers who otherwise would not have qualified for mortgages suddenly flooded the market. Higher home prices soon followed the home buying frenzy. So CRA revisions played a key role in the boom. In the 1990s, more than half of subprime refinances were in predominantly African American census tracts, indicating that banks were targeting minority neighborhoods to show CRA regulators they were serving such communities. Then, of course, there was the housing crash. So the sudden entry of new customers in the mortgage market led to both greater house price appreciation and the subsequent sharp increase in defaults. Mortgage defaults were concentrated in poor, predominantly minority zip codes, which means that Clinton's housing policies left residents living in them even worse off. In effect, they turned urban zip codes into breeding grounds for defaults. This would not have occurred in the absence of the expansion in mortgage credit availability. The defaults have led to an epidemic of foreclosures, reversing gains in minority home ownership, and inviting more blight and crime to minority neighborhoods.